The future has come in a time when the apocalyptic world has been ravaged by the last great war, now filled with lifeless wastelands and monsters. The only place that remains as a refuge for what's left of the once great human civilization is the city beneath the mountain. It is ruled by the All-Governor, who fears the growing power of the Crusader Church and its hierarch Johann. It is here that the execution of a witch named Grey Alice takes place, ordered by Ash, the Patriarch's right hand. She commands the slaves to stop working so they can witness the death of a witch who dared to defy the order. Grey Alice is known for her inability to say no. She grants any request made of her. People from all walks of life come seeking her aid, and they always receive it. Ash reads the sentence aloud and kicks the support out from beneath Grey Alice. But then something inexplicable happens. The witch locks eyes with one of the soldiers, and he, without understanding why, draws his pistol and shoots through the rope. Alice uses the moment to escape. Ash, enraged, kills the soldier who became the witch's pawn and orders her immediate capture. Crusaders search the nearby ruins, but this time it is Ash who ends up in the witch's hands, soon finding herself hanging from the same noose. But Grey Alice doesn't kick the support away. Instead, she simply walks away while Ash curses at her back, struggling to save herself. The slaves who witness it all give Grey Alice a new name, the witch who defies the noose, and cheer for her in awe. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the city, a lone hunter named Boyce fends off thugs who set an ambush. Helping him is his two-headed snake, a creature he treasures for never letting him down. As always, he throws the snake at the gang leader's throat, and it strangles the man, allowing Boyce to escape. That evening, as Grey Alice returns home, she pauses at her doorway to leave alms for a blind woman who has never asked her for anything. The woman is surprised. The witch's voice sounds just like it did in her youth, even though Grey Alice should be far older. Alice confirms that yes, she is indeed much older. Later that night, two visitors arrive, the Queen and her bodyguard Gerace, who is clearly displeased with his mistress's intentions. But the Queen, knowing that the witch never refuses anyone, asks to buy the power of transformation into a beast. The witch warns her, desire has no reversal, and once granted, the Queen's former self cannot be restored. But the Queen insists her will is strong and does not waver. Alice promises to find a hunter who can lead her to a werewolf's den. She will take the creature's power before the full moon and bring it to the Queen. After the Queen leaves, Gerace, the All-Governor's captain of the guard, returns alone. He offers the witch rare, expensive family heirloom watches in exchange for a favor. He asks her not to do what the Queen requested. Alice gives him her word. He too will get what he desires. Once they've both gone, Grey Alice falls into a trance and sees a vision of the werewolf tearing apart people who came to claim his pelt in a place filled with skulls. At the same time, the young queen speaks with contempt of her husband, the aging All-Governor, now immobile from sickness and unable to care for himself. She goes to her lover, the hunter Boyce. After a night together, he leaves her chambers only to run into a pair of crusaders in the stairwell. He makes quick work of them in combat. He then heads to a bar where Grey Alice finds him. She needs a guide to the Lost Lands. Boyce refuses, saying he came only to play cards, so the witch sits down and defeats him easily, wagering her wish. Left without a choice, he agrees to lead her, warning her of the horrors that await in the barren lands. Grey Alice asks to be taken to a werewolf's lair. Boyce knows one and agrees to take her to Skull River, where it dwells. As payment, Alice offers him the captain's pocket watch. Suddenly, a squad of crusaders enters the bar, led by Ash. Boyce throws his two-headed snake at the lead attacker, buying them time to escape. Ash kills the snake, but the pair flees the city. Boyce is visibly shaken by the loss of the creature, which surprises the witch. Back in the city, Ash drags the blind beggar woman before Patriarch Johann. Under torture, she is forced to admit that the Queen and her captain visited Grey Alice. She recognized their voices. Johann immediately sees the opportunity and commands Ash to find the witch and the hunter at any cost, and to extract a confession that they conspired with the Queen to seize the throne from the ailing All-Governor. Meanwhile, Grey Alice and Boyce camp in an open field. The man tries to find a replacement for his snake, but soon realizes there's no other creature like it. The witch repairs his pistol and lies down to rest, but in the night, she catches him sneaking up with a knife to her throat. He reminds her that a smart guide would kill the client immediately and take payment. Then he reveals a scorpion he killed, saving her from certain death. The next day they continue, stopping for the night at a trading outpost owned by Boyce's friends, Ross and his sister Mara, with whom Boyce has history. Grey Alice notices right away and urges Boyce to move faster. She must reach the werewolf's lair before the full moon, or she'll lose her chance to defeat him. He admits the only direct path is along the railroad, though it's teeming with monsters and far too dangerous. That night, Boyce spends time with Mara and unexpectedly tells her the sad tale of a boy who, after losing his parents, survived alone in the wastelands. He wandered in silence, afraid to speak, and grew distant and antisocial. When Mara guesses he's talking about himself, Boyce just laughs. In the morning, the pair says goodbye to their friends and rides off. All that remains ahead are the Lost Lands. Gray, Alice, and Boyce follow the tracks, unaware that Ash and her squad are riding the same path aboard an armored train. That same day, the Queen learns of the Crusaders' departure and demands their return from Johann, insisting the capital is unstable and needs their protection. Johann counters with a threat to expose her infidelity to the All-Governor. If confirmed, it would spark an uprising. The Queen protests his overreach. Now convinced of her conspiracy with the witch, Johann contacts Ash. He tells her the All-Governor is dying, the Queen is weak, and a new era is coming. But to secure it, she must extract a confession from Grey Alice at any cost. Pushing the train to full speed, Ash's squad arrives at the trading outpost. The Crusaders seize Ross and Mara. Ross is strung up between two poles and tortured, but endures the pain without revealing that Boyce and Alice had been there. Mara, seeing what they're about to do to her brother, breaks and gives up the destination the pair are heading to. The Crusaders kill Ross, burn down his home, and set off in the direction Mara revealed. Boyce and Grey Alice finally reach a ruined city split by a deep chasm. The hunter leads the witch to a cable car operated by an old friend, but the man doesn't respond to Boyce's calls. Searching for him, Boyce instead finds his friend's lifeless body, hanged. He barely has time to shout a warning to Alice before they're surrounded by Crusaders wearing dark glasses to block the witch's powers of suggestion. Ash demands Boyce hand over the witch, but he sees Mara, bound, tortured, and hanging on a wall, killed right before his eyes. Enraged, he launches into battle, with Alice at his side. Together, the pair unleash their full skill and fury, cutting down many of Ash's soldiers. But the Crusaders are too many, and they have a cannon, which they use to shell the fleeing pair as they race to the cable car. The transport, an old school bus suspended on a cable, begins its journey across the gorge. Several pursuers manage to jump in. After a brutal fight with the well-trained enemies, Alice and Boyce kill them and toss the bodies into the void below. Seeing this, Ash orders the cables cut. The bus sails across the chasm and crashes into the cliffside on the far end, dangling. Ash takes off her glasses to aim more precisely at the rising silhouettes of her enemies, but falls under Alice's gaze. She misses her shot at Boyce, allowing Alice to save him. It's then that Boyce realizes Grey Alice truly is a witch. That night, they rest by a fire. Boyce removes a bullet from his own flesh, and Alice stitches the wound. They remember the fallen, his friends, and Boyce confesses that the city had always weighed on him. They realize they are alike, in blood and spirit. Meanwhile, back in the city, the Queen discovers she's pregnant. Now with an heir, she announces the joyous news to the All-Governor. Then, standing over the paralyzed old man, she tells him that the future ruler is the child of a common hunter, just like the Queen herself, born of the people. She then smothers him with a pillow. That same day, Alice and Boyce arrive at a former military zone and spot Ash's armored train gaining on them. They reach the area first and take defensive positions near the old nuclear power plant, but they're attacked by mutants native to the zone. Boyce, having anticipated the danger, ignites flammable traps he had set, creating a ring of fire. But some mutants get through, and a chaotic fight breaks out. A fuel barrel explodes. The demon leading the mutants captures Alice and prepares to kill her. But the witch forces him to release her with a stare, then burns him alive with fire pouring from her palms. When the dust settles, Alice collapses into Boyce's arms. She tells him that the fire doesn't harm normal humans, but it kills creatures of darkness. This time, she paid the price. Every power has a cost. She tells of a man who once came to her, aware of this place's hidden power. She helped him because she can never say no. He gained power but turned into a demon. Alice admits she's tired of being unable to refuse, of granting terrible wishes. Boyce comforts her and promises to protect her, but Ash's armored train soon picks up their trail again. Back in the city, the public is informed of the All-Governor's death and the coming heir. Johann congratulates the Queen, but privately reminds her that power will pass from her once the child comes of age. The Queen flatters him, and Johann hesitates to move against her openly. Instead, he contacts Ash again, commanding her to find proof that the child is not the governor's. Meanwhile, Alice and Boyce reach the lands near the River of Skulls. Boyce pleads with her to turn back. She refuses and gives him the watch he earned. Alice explains that she cannot leave. Her curse is that she cannot deny anyone's request, so no one should be near her during her vows. But Boyce stays. In a tunnel, Ash's train catches up. Gray Alice runs along the tracks ahead of the train. Ash, exultant, imagines crushing her under the locomotive. But as they emerge onto a bridge, Alice sees the abyss ahead and jumps. Boyce catches her midair while the train plummets into the gorge, taking all the Crusaders with it. In the city, upon hearing the news, Johann attempts to seize the throne by force, but the captain kills both his guards and Johann himself. Meanwhile, Alice and Boyce arrive at the River of Skulls and approach the werewolf's lair. The witch is horrified by the countless bones, too many to count. Boyce begs her again to turn back, offering to fight the beast alone. She refuses and prepares for battle, strapping on silver claws. Boyce warns her it's useless. Many have come with silver, and all have perished. He begs her to stop, but she reminds him she has no choice. Rain begins to fall, the full moon rises, and then it's revealed. The werewolf they sought is Boyce himself. He begins to transform and attacks. Alice shifts into a raven, swoops in close, and topples the beast. When Boyce regains himself, he confesses he would kill to have her gift, to know things in advance. She tries to ease his suffering. It turns out she always knew who he truly was. While tending his wound earlier, she had slipped silver into the injury, allowing it to seep into his blood and weaken him. She prepares to kill him, but Boyce shouts his wish, to always be with her. Alice agrees, but drives a blade into his chest. Morning comes, Gray Alice sits by a grave. As the sun rises, she places the captain's watch on it and rides away. In the city beneath the mountain, the slaves welcome the return of the witch who defies the noose. A rebellion begins. Gray Alice brings the werewolf's hide to the palace. The queen must cut her finger and let a drop of blood fall on the pelt to receive the power of transformation. Seeing this, the captain demands his watch back. This wasn't what he asked for. Alice replies that he received exactly what he wished for, the queen. The man his woman desired is now dead. The queen, overcome with grief, confesses she only wanted to become a beast to be with Boyce. In a fit of rage, she kills the captain, but never puts on the pelt, and the city descends into rebellion. Soon, Boyce returns to confront Alice. During their conversation, it becomes clear she always knew everything about him. He could only fall in love with someone like her. That's why the queen wanted to become a werewolf. But Alice knew the queen would never wear his skin. She knew Boyce would survive, and that the gun in his hands wouldn't fire. From Gray Alice, anything can be bought, but it's better not to. Together, the pair rides away from the city. Another cautionary tale of ambition and desire, an enacted fable of be careful what you wish for, brought to life by Gray Alice herself.